He has been with the North Charleston Fire Department since 1996, and in 2009, Greg Bulanow became the fire chief for the North Charleston Fire Department. In this special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with the chief one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Well, Chief, it is so good to see you, meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
I appreciate this. So here we sit, North Charleston City Hall. And on my way here, I was just reading a tremendous article about you from Southwestern University. And at the time, you were just getting a degree from there. And also, this was February 1st, 2009, when you became the chief here. Tell me, from February 1st, 2009 to right now, what is it like to be you?
Well, very busy. This is a thriving community, a growing community, and so that impacts fire protection in a lot of different ways. And so we're working to address those needs, continue to address the needs of our community in terms of emergency response, and also working very hard to try and prevent emergencies from happening through code enforcement and fire prevention activities as well.
This is the third largest city in South Carolina. How overwhelming is it for you to really take on the task of protecting and serving the community?
Well, it involves working with a team of great people, and I'm very fortunate to have a staff in the administrative ranks and also throughout the ranks of the department that helps us meet those needs, and then a network of partnerships as well with other fire departments and as well as law enforcement and EMS.
Yeah, Mayor Key, somebody said this to Southern Western University about you just in 2009. He says this quote, as chief, I'll just say, Bulanow,
yes.
Progressed through the fire department. He has exemplified professionalism, whether fighting fire, working administratively within the department, or promoting fire safety. When you think of Mayor Key Summey, what sticks out to you?
Well, he's very generous and kind in that quote, but the mayor is fantastic to work for, has been very supportive of our department and of me personally, giving me the opportunity to be the chief of the department and then supporting us in every way. And it's a privilege to work for him and be part of the team that helps advance his vision for the city of North Charleston.
And a part of that team now is Reggie Burgess. He's the new police chief for North Charleston. What is it like for you to see him there?
Very happy to see Reggie get that position. I've known him for many years. He's a man of great character. He knows his job very well, and he treats people very well, and that's why everyone's so happy to see him in this position because of the man he is and the chief he is in terms of leading that organization.
That's right. When I was reading this particular article, I know that you wanted to become a fire chief before 30, and you actually reached that at age 28.
A fire captain,
right,
yes. That was my initial goal. I thought as a captain, you're in charge of one truck, one station, and I thought you have some level of autonomy, but you still get to take that hose in the front door. And so I thought that was would be a perfect position, and so I was able to achieve that goal and did that for 5 years, loved every minute of it, but was fortunate after that to have additional opportunities to advance as well.
And I also read this too, but you wanted to become a college professor?
That was my initial thought, right. So went to college and graduated and wanted to take a little break before I went on to grad school, and moved to the Charleston area and had this opportunity to be in the fire department, and initially thought I would do it for a couple of years, but absolutely fell in love with the job, with the city, with the department, and have stuck with it, and now for more than 21 years.
Yeah, you came here in 1996. Tell me this, what is the biggest difference between 1996 and now when you think of the fire department?
That's interesting. We had a guy retire yesterday, was his last day, and I was reminiscing with him about the time from the 90s all the way up. We're certainly much busier in terms of our call volume and all that we respond to. That's one of the biggest things. The city has grown so much, and it's wonderful to see, and it's wonderful to be a part of that.
Yeah. And obviously we just had the recent ice and snowstorm, I guess 3 weeks ago. What was it like for you to be in that position to oversee that particular event?
That's a very unusual situation for coastal South Carolina to have 5 or 6 inches of snow, and there were 2 points I think that I was most concerned about initially, when even before the snow came, right. When the freezing rain was hitting, there were traffic accidents just all over the place. Right. And so I thought our resources were really going to be stretched. But once the rain turned to snow, I think people had that visual cue that I need to slow down here, and they did that. And so it actually, people heeded the warnings. They heeded the warning from the mayor to stay off the roads, and I think that really minimized the negative impact that could have happened. And then later in that week, when the pipes started thawing, and there were water outages in various places, and that certainly poses a concern for us in terms of our ability to fight fire with adequate water supply. Right. So we worked with our partners at Charleston Water, and they were quickly able to get on top of that, and we didn't have any issues related to that. So we worked through that, some lessons learned certainly, but it went well, and all of our, I credited the staff throughout the ranks of the department for responding, continuing to provide emergency response throughout that incident, but doing it very carefully and very safely. We had only 1 vehicle accident, and the vehicle was actually parked when it started sliding on the ice and slid into a guardrail. That was the only vehicle accident we had, and no major injuries throughout that incident. So it's a credit to the professionalism of our staff to manage that. Yes.
Well, let me reset. I mean, obviously you've been in the fire field for a long time, but when you take off that fire chief hat, who's Chief Greg?
I'm a family man. I have a beautiful wife and 3 daughters who are 15, 13, and 9. Wow. So we're very busy. Taking them to sporting events and just spending time with them. Very blessed to have a wonderful family, and I enjoy my time with them.
That is awesome. So here we are today. It's close to February. Talk to me about the future. Write the headline. The North Charleston Fire Department will be doing what in 5 years?
Well, we've actually laid that all out through a strategic planning process, and we have a vision for our department that we will be an industry leader, and we're going to achieve that by the way we treat our people and by the way we treat our citizens, and doing that in accordance with our values of honor, courage, and compassion. And by doing that, we believe that we can take where we are now, which is already performing at a very high level, and even take it to another level.
And I forgot to mention this, I should have actually at the top, but obviously Mayor Samuel will actually have a State of the City address tonight. What do you expect to hear from him?
Well, we've talked about, he'll be talking about all the accomplishments in the city, and it's a team effort that really contributes to the quality of life in the city, which is the mayor's vision for North Charleston is that it's a great place to live, work, and play. And so each of the departments have contributions to make in that area. For the fire department, one thing he'll be talking about is the new insurance rating that we received earlier this year. ISO rates the capabilities of fire departments and ranks them on a score of 1 to 10. And earlier this year, we achieved a Class 1 rating, which is the highest possible rating. Wow. So that is a great way for us to add value to our citizens and to the businesses that are here in North Charleston.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Chief Greg, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you. Yes. Enjoyed it.
Well, likewise.